there, YouTube. We're back with some more Matchplay commentary for y'all. I'm joined by the Brother Bear, the Highwayman, Kaiju Master, TJ.
You know what's messed up?
Hmm.
Cold apple cider is just apple juice, bro. Just a little bit thicker. That's all it is.
That's a new way to think about it. I never thought of that.
If you microwave not applesauce. Did I say applesauce? I meant apple juice. All right, never mind. Video's cooked. Go ahead.
But as I said, we're back with some 2.0 commentary for you guys. You know, the local shops are typically doing the Highlander event, so we figured we get some cam games of regular format. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. The meta's sort of, you know, it's kind of there. You know, we're kind of wrapping up the competitive season. We've got, it's EX8, right? That's going to be coming out a week after Cardfest. So I believe it's going to be like January, like 11th, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know the exact day, but it is like a week after, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a few weeks.
January 8th, actually.
January 8th. Yeah. It's like right after Cardfest. So we've got something to look forward to. So hopefully you guys aren't too tired of this. We've tried to switch the decks up a little bit. I am playing Melga on the left, trying to incorporate the new Gabubond Ace and a Scramble just to kind of see if that changes anything for it. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. And we've got TJ on the right playing Imperial. So let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Feel free to check out our socials, which are linked down in the video description. I will also drop a link for Selly's TCG Pro link just because they just moved into a new shop. They had a great kickoff event. They've been doing really great. It's awesome to see them grow. So feel free to check out their shop. They're sort of the home base place that we go to every Thursday for Digi. So that's their quick little plug. But yeah, enough yapping from me. Let's hop right into this bad boy.
It's been so interesting watching how the meta develops. Like it started off where it was just like, all right, here's Red Hybrid, here's Imperial.
Yeah.
And or I guess not even that. No, it didn't even start. It started off with like Purple Hybrid, Lord Nightmon, and Imperial. Like those were like the big guys, right?
Yeah.
And then like Red Hybrid like eased its way back in. Ancient Gar is like gone now, almost. We don't see much Magnagar either. And then like now Angels has creeped up as well.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. It's crazy. And then of course we got Dog Walking, as Risu calls it, the whole galaxy charades. But anyway, sorry, I'm yapping.
We
see pretty good starts from both of us.
Yeah. We were missing the Guru X, and I was like, well, let's just like swing. I have the Buka, one of Buka, which will give me jamming. So I mean, it just forces you to just deal with that stack next turn. We can cycle with the Gabu Inheritable. Whiff on the Guru X, but pick up a Mat. And we play out a Mat to search top 3. Mat will pick up a card with Gabu or Guru, so we just go ahead and pick up another piece. And you're allowed to do Imperial things here. So you can go into your pile, gain the memory back. Not the new pile, but still pretty solid BT12.
Unfortunately, one came out of security, so I know I'm already down 1. And the only one I had found so far was the BT12 one. I wish I had found the... I mean, any of the other two, really, realistically. Really just either of them. This one's like, okay. It's nice for the source strip sometimes. It can be good for getting rid of like ace sources and stuff like that, like in decks like Angels, for example, like that usually have like Magna Ace or Andromon Ace under them.
Inheritable's not bad either. Like if you're swinging with like a Dragon mode or Fighter mode, gain of memory is not insignificant by any means.
It's also not once per turn. So like with like things like Paladin Ace and stuff like that too, you can just print memory as long as your opponent has a board.
So you do your jamming check.
Yeah.
Get a Melga.
Big guy, big fella.
And this is where I thought maybe the scrambles could be helpful, because obviously Melga being sort of like one of the, I don't want to call it the first OTK deck, but one of like the more like BT9 OTK decks, like having a scramble out to like just pop a Gabu beginning a turn might not be bad. The only thing that I could feel like a problem with that is that the scramble, yes, you play at the body, but Melga typically needs your bodies to swing to do stuff, and if you just like keep, you know, if you have a stack out there that doesn't swing, it just sort of sits there. Which is kind of rough. But we are able to go into a stack. Just missing the Guru X.
So I start building in the back a little bit more. I'm still kind of struggling for certain pieces. I did have that in hand, HBD. So I was just trying to decide how I wanted to use it.
Yeah.
I opt to go ahead and play it now and evo into the old ST Dragon mode. I use its effect to spit out a Vmon and then the Stingmon. Just to try and get some search off the V, because I was missing other Paildras, and I do happen to get one right there off the top deck, which was exactly what I was missing. So I go into another XV here, draw for Evo, go ahead and DNA, suspend your boy, get some memory. And I'm able to swing through, unsuspend, do a check. And I probably could have swung a second check here.
Sure.
But I wasn't super confident about it. And I was trying to decide how I wanted to do things. Part of me also just thought about leaving the partition guy up just in case, so like if it was going to get bounced. I mean, not that it really matters. I mean, I have partition inheritable regardless, but you know, just something I was just like, maybe I just stay on the 5. Maybe I don't want to evo here. Maybe I want to have another like good like ace threat target to evo over in case you swung or something.
And this is a really good card right here, Hex.
Yeah, I do have to just go Hexablow because this way you have to like use an X antibody or evo your wear X in order to actually like, you know, swing. I just didn't want you to get the extra checks. I was trying to be a safe boy.
And
doesn't matter though. You do find all the things you needed.
I mean, the thing that also kind of hurt me here too was I think if I had swung with the Werguru, I could have done some damage there. If I had battle protections. The only thing is I didn't have that with a Gabu X, which is a vanilla inherit. No Guru X to give me that protections, and I don't have jamming in the stack either. So it's like, well, I swing and I die, and there's a very good chance. I mean, like, yes, you've got your big bodies out, but even if I hit a Paio, I die in security. So it's, well, I mean, I guess I could live if I use the Suno. So maybe I could have swung, but I don't know. I thought it was risky.
I mean, you would have been.
I mean, 9K.
To be fair, it's tough. It's spooky because I do have like a lot of level 6s, right? I have a lot of top end that Imperial runs, right? I have Hexablows, I have Dragon modes, I have Fighter modes, I have Paladin modes.
And that's why I was like, well, like if he dies, I'm just like, it's cooked. So just go into the Melga from BT14, the secret Melga. This will just go ahead and effectively prevent your bodies from suspending, which bought me a turn. And I was like, well,
this is where I'm kind of kicking myself. I'm like, man, I wish I would have kind of saved Hexablow because I could have stripped some sources.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess I got the bottom make your mad off it, so it wasn't like a terrible play. It was still worth. But I'm still in a rough spot because I'm still not seeing pieces of my end either.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Melga, I think we talked about it a little bit after the matchup as well, is that like, one, you pointed out there's so many different ways to deal with like a deck that just thrives on swinging multiple times. There's so many ace threats. There's so many decks that have like redirects, blockers, bodies DP climb now too. So like there's just so many things that deal with what Melga wants to do that you really, and it doesn't really have a backup option. I think that's the biggest problem, is that once you take away its game plan, there's not a whole lot it can do to like do stuff. And here it was a pretty smart play as well.
Its play is super linear, right? Like it does the, you know, it doesn't spit bodies out from its stack. It doesn't have like any sort of like all turns protection or recursion like every other like top contender deck has now, right? Where like, because those are the best decks in the format, right? If they're decks that can either spit bodies out for free, can spit tamers out for free, like you know, just prints them out basically, or has some means of recursion if they would be cleared, or just like protection from everything by trashing security or removing sources or whatever, right? And you do a good play here. You do just hard up a Gabu and then Warp Evo just to kind of stall me out, and it does keep me from like swinging with my Paladin or my Hexablow. But yeah, it's just, its play is very linear. It doesn't have any backup plans, exactly like you said. It doesn't have any like its protections are just outdated and just bad now for the most part. Like bad protections, like nothing. There's so much DP reduction in the format that just doesn't matter.
I'm going to Pail. You suspend my boys. Go ahead, swing, live.
Okay, swing again. Oh yeah, right now we're just clarifying the gain of memory from when I DNA'd earlier. I forgot to do that. I get the 2 Texan. Can't swing with the Hex. Can't swing with the Paladin. I can take a little bit of comfort in knowing that your boys are locked down, so you can't do crazy things. And then I think I just drop a VMod here just to have a little bit of setup to potentially help me.
So we do Gabu X here. I am allowed to pick up a Wergar X. I think part of me too was regretting dropping the BT6 mat this turn. I think maybe if I had just focused on like climbing in the back, I think I was like too focused on potentially warp evoing by using BT6. I feel like if I maybe had set up my Gurus like a turn earlier, maybe I could have done something a little bit, but I mean, Hex being that floodgate is tough.
Yeah.
And then the threat of another Paladin possibly also is something that was very, very scary at the time. And then Pyel having that potential ace threat as well off of the fighter mode ace is, again, pretty scary.
Yeah, there's so many ace threats in Imperial. Imperial just has so many options. There's so many routes and avenues. So much recursion, free bodies. It just has all the things, right? It just can be a little bit slow sometimes if it doesn't see its pieces in the right order, because it is very piece reliant. That's its downfall. But it needs that. If it didn't have that, it would be completely broken.
Yeah.
And it's already pretty strong. So you just go into Wergar here to sort of set up a potential ace play, which I think is good. Right? Because Melga Ace is still a good card for stealing turns. So if I'm not like diligent or mindful, I could very easily mess myself up. My issue is that I was not seeing any other BT16 Imperialdramons. So I have the 2 on board already. I know one was in security that you got checked early, and then I bottom decked it.
Right.
So it was just a matter of like where the 4th one was.
You go ahead and go Hex into.
That Melga's only 6K, huh?
Melga's only 6K? Or Wergar?
The Wergar, rather.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I don't know. I might have had the ST Pale Joy in hand. I could have just bottom decked it. Don't even worry about that. That's okay.
Gabu Bond Ace comes out off of that Hex swing. You swung into my other Melga, and we go ahead and do the Bond to bottom deck your little rookie guys, and then we go Melga Ace to gain 3. But you use the Paladin to go ahead and just bop my Bond Ace. Yeah.
Gain 5. I swing. I have to suspend your guy, so I can't unsuspend, which we clarify right now. I do the 1 check. It's a mat.
Now, what would have been nice or somewhat relevant would be if like Bond Ace were able to go over any like Melga, you know?
I did have it. Man, that's crazy. Anyway, sorry. I was worried about that for nothing. I could have just done that and bottom deck the whole guy. I always forget that he's only 6K.
Yeah.
But you were saying, sorry, I apologize.
No, I was saying, Bond not being able to go over the Melga Ace is rough. Because it's like, you can Melga Ace, but it's like, okay, well, he's like strictly purple, so he can't Gabu Bond Ace over it. Being able to Melga Ace and then Gabu Bond Ace could be pretty nasty. Obviously, it's a very...
Purple,
Making him pure purple is a choice.
I think at the time, it was definitely like, I could understand it. It was very strong, right? Like, I mean, Melga out the gate, right? It was like Melga Ace was terrifying when we first got it, right? And Melga in general was a deck was terrifying because of Buka. And then we had BT15 on the horizon, along with EX5 and all the new Melga pieces we were getting, along with the new X Antibody pieces we were getting. So like I understand why they kind of made it pure purple to try and rein it in a little bit, because I think if it was blue purple at the time, it would have been very overpowered. But I think now, in terms of like future ideas, I feel it would have been so nice. It would have been such like a good ace card for those decks. Not that blue necessarily needs it, but purple could use a little bit of a. Purple doesn't really have ace cards like all that much.
Like a purple blue ace would be super nice.
Purple doesn't have many like really good ace cards. Like Melga is probably one of the better aces that it has. Because otherwise it's like what Grand Kawaga is green purple. I can't think of any other level 6 right now off the top of my head. I know for 5s we have Myotis.
We have Shiva now, or not Shiva. Sorry, the Megidra.
Oh, Megidra. Sure, yeah. Anyways, while we've been
Shiva.
yapping, we're getting set up. Both going to fours in the back. You get your tamer on the board, which is pretty good. I'm a little bit stuck, so I'm just doing some search. I do see a paladin mode, but I grab one of the XVs because of the old rule of 2, where when you reveal 2 of a card, you probably want to grab one of them, because if they both go to the bottom deck, you're most likely not seeing them for a while.
Yeah.
Especially when you already have one Evo in the back. So that means there's one somewhere else, and it could just be insecurity. And I do not want to lock myself off from XVs.
You do Imperial shenanigans, go into Pile.
Yeah. Swing draw, and suspend.
Jamming big guy.
Stuck. Waiting if I want to swing again, leave myself suspended. I just opt to. Let's just do every chip. Might as well. Who do you think's more comfortable to like ride? Would it be Melga or Dragon mode? Like if you had to like ride one in like to a Denny's.
About to ride one to a Denny's?
Yeah. Like early in the morning, you just woke up, you're like, dang, I want some Denny's. Huh. I want the what's the Grand Slam or whatever they call it?
The Grand Slam.
Yeah.
I'd go Dragon mode. I'd want to make an entrance.
Okay. Yeah, just take up like half the parking lot.
Sure, no one else is getting that Grand Slam but me.
Yeah, that's fair. You know, the other thing with Melga might be kind of cold. Like he's like pure metal, right? He's got the Ice Wolf claw going on, so it might be like a refrigerator right him. And cold metal is not great. Like the clinch on the thighs, whew, not great. Anyway, sorry. Here's some thoughts.
Go ahead, swing with check. Yeah, you drop the Sting. I go into the Wergar in the back. You swung 2 checks, hit a Wergar and a Gabu X, which, you know, you got the Jammins, which is pretty good. And I mean, the world's your oyster here. You could swing with Sting. You could just go XV in the back. Just fair.
Yeah, I have to leave it because I'm just like, you know what? You could do some things, but I figure like, you know, I can just play it back down. I'd rather have it on the board just to kind of like keep me safe in case you did a play where you try to bounce all the lowest level type deal.
I think here, if you could probably see me going back and forth, because I was like, well, I could like Melga Ace to just either choke you to 1, or even just like keep turn and like maybe do some stuff. But I was missing a Melga X, so I couldn't bounce anything. I was also like, I had the Gabubond Ace, so I'm like, well, I can't Gabubond Ace over the Melga, nor can I Evo into it, even if it was my turn. And then you've got the fighter mode. I was like, well, that's it.
I had an HPT and fighter mode combo. So I suspend the Stingmon, Evo into the fighter mode for free. I go ahead and attack Evo. Yeah, just do all the things. I'm able to swing.
Yeah.
It's Imperial does dumb stuff. Like HPD and the ST Dragon modes, there's just so much gas for the deck, man. Like, they're so good.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Imperial's good. It's a very strong deck. I definitely think it's one of the contenders for nationals. We saw it take, you know, we saw it in the finals in Europe, right? And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, EU meta is different. Either way, I mean, like, it shows as a strong deck. The pool of decks are the same. We had good pilots in it. They played it to finals. So it's a strong deck, and there's a reason Melga is not in that pool. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. It's tough. The other thing too, like so one of the things I'm realizing, like Melga's like lockdown effect too, for DNA decks it really doesn't matter, and we're getting so many more like DNA effects and stuff like that, even like the recent Chaosmon reveals, right? Like, that stuff seems crazy. The recent Examon reveals, right? That new as we're talking, the Imperialdramon got revealed, where you can potentially turn 2, go all the way up into an Examon for like 8 memory. Which is crazy. It's insane. So, you know, like it's Melga's defensive ability also is just sort of like kind of falling behind a bit.
Yeah, I am curious to see what support we're gonna get, you know, with the new starter decks that come out. Because I think Wargrey and Melga are gonna be like the 2 stars of the show once again. So I mean, every time Melga's gotten support, it pops off. So I don't know. Maybe they'll stay in theme this time around, and once we get a 3rd round of Melga support, it's one of those like people will complain about it again. But for now, old Yeller he's in the doggy cage.
Makes sense.
Mirage will soon be joining him. but get there. But anywho's, we've been yapping. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see ya on that flippy flip. Bye-bye.